Good morning, everybody. Here we go again. It's like his favorite thing in the world. All right, here. You're going to ignore your audience and go back to the brush, huh? Is that how that works? You're just a horrible host, aren't you? Yes, you are. I see Nibble peering around the corner there, too. That may be all we get to see of her. Right, Nibble? You going to come out? There we go. We got her out a little bit. That's probably all we'll get to see of her, but yeah, there she goes. She got what she wanted. Read all the comments here, see what I missed. I know they got those little brushes that you can attach to the corners of the like walls and stuff like that. That I'm just concerned that White would like rub his face raw. Yeah, that was a cat head, and she's off to her room now. So Jessica is home this weekend. That's cool. See the thin layer of ice is melted off the water now, so we can get at it if I need to. I mean, the vodka, right? Jessica is Rhonda's oldest daughter. One of your cats insists on ice cubes. See, I don't let the cats control me that way. They eat what they eat, they drink what they drink, and if they're not happy, they go without. I've never had cats that were finicky eaters because you don't eat what we provide, you don't eat. Super hot here today too. I think they're predicting it's going to go like into the hundreds. So that should warm the pool up. Hopefully, I'll be in the pool this week. Rain in northern Michigan. Hopefully, that goes up into Canada and helps some of their fires. I saw Flash this morning. She's doing fine. I've had a little celery in the house for a while, so she got the last of the celery today. Well, I think there's multiple fires in Canada, and I don't know if one of them's arson. I was just hearing this morning that it was that one of them might have been a campfire that wasn't put out properly, and others were started by lightning. So, how's my mom? My mom's fine. Let's look at the message here. I haven't seen it yet. I tend to read these things as on the air here. See what happens. Okay, she's going home on Monday, so that's good. she, she's excited, but a little scared because been spoiled rotten for the last couple months, and now she gets to do everything by herself. I think she's still not a point where she's comfortable moving around a lot. So I guess they're going to have some people that are going to help her with certain things. We'll see what happens. Let's see. Overcast and cool there. So yeah, there you go. All right. So yeah, she says next week I'll hear from her in her own apartment. So that's good. There you go. There's the latest. Getting out on Monday. That's good. She's been in the hospital now for I don't know several months. Yeah, that happened when I lived in California too. The sky would just turn red. I even got video at one point of a fire that was literally just a couple miles up the road from me, and you could see the smoke billowing across, from one of my windows. Overcast and cool. I heard that they're declaring an El Nino this year. Now I don't know. They seem to declare an El Nino almost every year, but if that's the case, Southern California should get more rain this year. No, the kitchen cabinets are on hold indefinitely. That just put a really bad taste in my mouth, and I don't know. We're gonna just live with what we got for a while. You put in a new kitchen faucet. Did you do it yourself? Because they aren't really that hard. Okay, yeah, you did. Yeah, if you know the pains of getting under the sink, you did it yourself. Yeah, congratulations. It's not that hard to do. But you're right. The worst part of it is getting under the sink. I never really looked at the table that close. I just assumed from the wood grain on the top that it was oak. And like I said, I got underneath it and looked just like, wait, how do they do this? And all of a sudden I realized, oh man, yeah, that's it. It's an oak veneer. It looked like the real thing though. I was convinced I had an oak table for 20 years. Like I said, it's just whatever, it's the way it works, I guess. It's just weird to think that you have a table that's molded. Yeah, it looks nice. It's still a nice table. I mean, even though there's the damaged parts where I went through the finish, through the veneer. Any new projects for the house in the future? Yeah, coming up one of these days, I'm gonna do that rock display case underneath the table that I talked to you about a couple weeks ago. In fact, that might happen sooner maybe than later. That'd be maybe a good vlog for next week because next week's a long week, and we can hopefully get 4 days out of it. We're going for a two-door as a project to like restore it. No, actually, the carrot cake isn't. I've still got quite a bit of it. In fact, I was halfway thinking about bringing a slice out here and eating it in front of you. That'd be really really rude, wouldn't it? It was nice. A few minor scratches. Yeah. Well, and you can sand out minor scratches. Tater tot casserole. Huh. That's interesting. You don't want me eating it in front of you, huh? You got the dollhouse. Okay. There we go. Tater tot pizza. Yeah, that does sound a little strange, but so does tater tot casserole. But it could be good actually. You get some like cheese in there, and yeah, there's all sorts of opportunities there. It's a big dollhouse. It's almost big enough for you to live in, huh? No, tater tots are good. I like tater tots. Hash browns are good too. Yeah, here we go. This is how the food talk always starts, people. Chili cheese dog tater tot casserole. That actually does sound really good. The girls have climbed into it. They climbed into your chili cheese dog tater tot casserole. Okay, okay, that's yeah, because kids doesn't sound like a good ingredient in a casserole. That sounds a little weird. They say tater tot pizza sounds strange. Kids in a casserole sounds even weirder. We had a little rain that came through last night. It filled up. It actually, it wasn't a terribly strong storm. It was just a whole bunch of little cells that kind of came in after one after another, and we got a little bit of got a little bit of rain. Filled up the rain barrel, which was nice. I actually haven't looked in the rain gauge to see how much we got, but it rained, kind of nice, gentle rain for about an hour, hour and a half last night. So that was nice. When is tornado season? Well, we're in tornado season now. You know, you remember this is Waco, and last month was the 70th anniversary of the Waco tornado that killed all those people downtown in '53. And so that was tornado season. We're in the middle of it now, and I guess it probably extends through probably September or October. A lot of warm, moist air coming in off the Gulf. Hello, Jessica. How are you? Do I use the rainwater to wash my hair? No, just to water the plants. It's nice to be able to do that. There's certain things that I want to give a little bit more water to, and then the rest of the stuff can kind of be fed by the sprinklers. I'm especially concerned about the stuff in the garden and some of the new plants that I planted. Jessica's great. She's at home. That's great. Have I ever seen one, a tornado? No, I've never seen one. I mean, I've seen little dust devils, but that's basically the same thing as a tornado. It's just on a lot smaller scale. I've been through a couple of tornado warnings though, where the sirens were going off and stuff like that. And if you watch the channel, you know that they both ended up on, I ended up filming them. You just know that when a real tornado comes through here, I'm going to be the one in the backyard filming it. You got some voodoo dolls. I hope one of them isn't of me. Ow! What did you do to me? That hurt. Hey, Eric. Well, Logan, that's why I'm here, is to make you laugh. You're ordering parts to build your own PC. I've done that a few times. I got a computer in the back room there that I built from scratch probably about 20 years ago. I mean, from scratch, I don't mean getting down to the component level and wiring, putting chips on the motherboard or anything, but I bought the motherboard and the hard drives and the enclosure and the power supply and all the cards and put it together myself. I brought it over to some guys to work on once because I thought I had a power supply problem. Turns out that I just wanted to confirm that. And when they opened it up, they were amazed because they were sure pulling everybody. Hey, come look at this. And I open it up. It's got like 8 hard drives in it, and every gigabyte of memory I could put in the thing. Charlotte fell asleep last week and is sorry she missed it. Oh, that's okay, Charlotte. Tell your mom you can play it back, okay? buy cat toys and they end up playing with junk. Yeah, I built Flash a cave in the backyard and she doesn't even use it. Yeah, yeah, Nicholas, I am still considering that. In fact, that's maybe kind of being moved to the front burner. That may happen pretty quick. Last pay period was a holiday, and so I got holiday pay. And since I was working on the day that it was, I like got triple pay for that day. So this paycheck was nice. It was probably half again what it usually is. So I'm going to use a little bit of that money, and my sister gave me a couple of Home Depot gift cards, and I'm going to use that money to build the display case. So yeah, sooner maybe than later. I don't know if I'll get to it this week, but I might start next week. I love my repeat viewers. You already got the enclosure. It's got LED fans in it. Okay, yeah. So you're looking to make it look kind of cool too. I didn't really go with the LEDs or any of that stuff. It was I wanted it, it just to be about muscle. So I got the fastest processor that they had, the most memory I had in it. I picked out the motherboard to handle what I was going to do with it. Put lightning fast video processor in it, um, and and like I said, 8 hard drives. Two of them were in a RAID array, which they were the fastest. It was at the time it was the fastest hard drive you get in the world, and I put two of them in a RAID 0 array, which basically doubles their processing power. So it was really designed to be a muscle machine. Got a home air purifier for you and the cats, huh? All right. Yeah, I mean, this PC in the background here, I've had this for a long time too, and it works fine. That was actually probably one of the first times I bought a computer just off the shelf. Prior to that, I always built them. Of course, then I got into laptops. I swore I never do that because, um, you can't modify a laptop that easily. But here we are. Like I said, I can modify that one infinitely. So, and it is actually fairly easy now. If you get a USB hub, you can pack up a laptop with all sorts of hard drive space and other utilities and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm not surprised you have falling ash. When there be a fire near me in California, there'd be ash in the backyard too. Yeah, if a Chromebook works for you, that's the way to go. It just depends on what you need to do with it and what your comfort level is with computers. There's some people that want some of the basic features that come with a computer, but don't really want any of the high end stuff. And there's a computer for that. How's my mom? My mom's doing fine. I think she's going home from the rehab place on Monday, so she's really looking forward to that. She's been in some form of a hospital or rehab facility for like 3 months now, so she's ready to go home. Yeah, I like a fast processor now. To it's gotten to the point where just about anything out there now can do what I wanted to do. So that's good. Maybe my interest in what a computer should be able to do have kind of plateaued off, at least for the moment. Who knows? Maybe some point there'll be a virtual reality version of YouTube or something like that where you can actually walk around in my house or come along on a vlog. But until now, producing videos, that's kind of the pinnacle of what I do on the computer. And this laptop can do it, my desktop can do it, so good enough, right? Yeah, Nana's going home. Oh man, yeah, you have. Yeah, I mean, I remember computers back in the early days. I had an IBM XT, when they first came out, 4.77 megahertz processor, uh, and 64 kilo or no 640 kilobytes of RAM, and that was a monster machine at the time. I know I paid like $1,000 for that. And then my second computer was a 386 running at what was it 25 megahertz, and had a whopping 1 gigabyte of RAM in it. Yeah, green screen is pretty cool. There's a green screen function in the editor I use, but it doesn't work very well, so I've never really played around with it that much. Plus, the fact I don't really have a green screen. I know you can just kind of go and buy like a sheet of it, like a roll of it. Yeah, like I said, my first computer was an XT computer, and it had MS DOS 3.2. I can still do DOS. And I think the first version of Windows I had was Windows 2. Any stray feral cats show up at my house, would I keep them? I guess it would depend on the situation. Windows 98 was a good operating system. Windows ME was not. Web TV, I remember Web TV. I never had it, but I had a friend that did. I remember ASCII. In fact, I've talked about my Guided by Voices website on a couple of occasions here, and the original Guided by Robert Pollard started on was created by Matt, and he had Web TV, and he created it in Web TV. So in its very very earliest days, um, Guided by Robert Pollard was a Web TV app. Your first printer was a dot matrix and your first computer was an Apple IIc. Yeah, my dad had an Apple IIe, so that was my first exposure to a computer. That was back in the early 80s. 82, 83, I think is when he got that. Because I remember using it when I was in college. I don't think it was around when I was in high school. Had two floppy drives on it. You put a floppy disk in, you boot on one side, and then once the boot up process was done, you flipped it over and the software was on the other side. Yeah, Byte and Nibble were both feral when they were babies. I've told that story before, but that's how Byte got his name. When I first saw him and tried to grab him, he bit me. Didn't you? But he turned, like I said, yeah, like your case, Byte turned into the world's biggest lap cat, and Nibble just never wanted anything to do with people. So I've always made the argument that Byte is my cat and Nibble is his cat. I remember my grandmother, my mom's mom, was talking at one point that she wanted to get onto the internet, and we were talking about getting her web TV. And it never happened though. One floppy and one 3.5. Yeah, okay. I still have some 3.5 inch discs. Look who's back. One of these days, I got like a collection of like ancient media types. In fact, are they up here? Yeah, I just was looking at these the other day. This is kind of a fun collectible. I was in the CD industry for many, many years, and during the time that the DVD developed, I was right there in the middle of the industry, and there were actually two competing formats for the new DVD format. Uh, One done by Toshiba and Time Warner. Time Warner was the company I worked for, and then one done by Sony Philips, which those are the people that invented the compact disc. And at the time, at trade shows, they had examples of both of them. So this was the two contenders for what later became DVDs. I don't think this disc even plays because at this point it was the format changed so much that that it probably wouldn't play on the player. But look on the reverse side of that. How cool is that? The etching on that. Oops. So yeah, that's an interesting piece of a collectible there. And the super density disc from Sony. Ironically, it looks like the same disc. And it's funny because except for the fact that one of them says super density disc on it on the outside edge, they both actually seem like it's the same disc. They got the same etching on it. That's weird. I've never really looked at them side by side like that before. Let me show you this. Like they both got kind of the same etching on it. But this one says SD disc, and this one says Toshiba Time Warner. I wonder if the same people made them. I'm gonna have to look into that a little bit more. I have to do that when we're offline though. That's weird. Like I said, I've never opened them up and looked at them like that. Yeah, it was. It was two competing formats like VCR and or VHS and beta is actually. Uh, yeah, I don't have any really formal training in computers. I'm just kind of self-taught. I used to when I worked at DMI and later at WIA, we used to make some of those picture discs. In fact, I've got to hang on. I got examples of every one of those discs. I was just looking; they're just over there. So let me show you some of these things. These are cool. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna turn this live stream into the obsolete technology topic of the day here. Oops. Get that out of the way. I hate some of the features on these computers where you hover over something and a window pops up. So this was a single that we did for a a band called MSG, and and what we did is we put their logo on the disc. So it's like, and this one looks like it's about probably 5 or 7 minutes of music, and then it's got that cool imagery on the outside. So that one was kind of cool. I made all of these. In fact, there's my business card when I was at DMI. Let's see. Oh, this is the one that Jordan would like. In fact, if he ever watches this live stream, he's gonna be jealous that I have never shown him this before. It's Elvis Presley. See if I can get it in there so you can see it. How awesome is that? I forgot about that one. And then that was a clock that we made. See if I can get it so you can see it. There's so much glare here. But that was cool. I made that one. This was something that we did for some sort of a tribute disc. I think it was like for a charity or something like that. That was kind of cool. That's got the old laser video on the top there. So that was the first company I ever worked for. Let's see. Maybe it'd be easier if I pulled these out of the packet here. Let's see. What does that say? So that one's just kind of got some kind of cool graphics along the outer edge. See, that's what we do is we'd put the music in the middle here and then do these kind of cool graphics out here. So the more music you had, less room you had for the graphics. But that's kind of cool, huh? Let's see here. What else do we got? I think that's another one of those. That one's kind of unspectacular. This was just kind of a promotional thing that we made. And actually what it was, this was actually a version of Data. And so you can see the actual sectors on the disc. And then we just, disc manufacturing, what does it say, mastering services on that. That was kind of cool. This is one that I did for a friend of mine when they got married. So it was their names and the date, which is what, September 25th, 1993. Yeah, it shows how old that is. Shows how old I am too, right? Scary. That turned out to be one of our Christmas discs, and it's got like spaceships and planets and stuff like that. Very, very cool. And another Christmas disc, and that's got more of a traditional Christmas theme to it. Let's open the flap here so you can see it a little better, like poinsettias and all that stuff. Sorry, it's really hard because the screen's all lit up, so it's hard to see. Let's see. Another Christmas one. This one is cool because this one's metallized in gold. So it's not silver, it's actually gold chip colored. That's kind of cool. Let's see, what's the other one got in it? Because I got two of these little booklet things. That one looks like just a bunch of gears and stuff like that, kind of cool. Let's see. No, that one's kind of boring. What's this? Oh, okay. This is one that I did. Uh, Later on, I worked at a company called Media Masking, and this one didn't come out really well because the image wasn't right. But we tried to take a photograph of my boss and his new wife, and we turned that into a disc. That almost looks like a hologram, doesn't it? That's actually a DVD. Doesn't play though. Let's see. Yeah, here's another one. We did the same thing. This one came out a little bit better. The image was a little easier to see, but you got to get it in a way they can. I don't know. Like I said, the contrast was all wrong on this, so it was really hard to get it to look good. I don't know. Yeah, the contrast kind of sucks on those, but it's another one of those, another one of those. Yeah, I guess that's all I got of those. But yeah, all right, that killed like about 15 minutes. Yeah, I haven't looked at these in like years. I just got them in these little books over on my CD shelf. Yeah, yeah, all of those are designed on a computer. Remember earlier I was saying I had the first version of Windows I ran was Windows 2.0. We used Windows 2.0 to scan the pictures that were turned into those, and we used to have this really really strict format on what we had to accept and what people could produce. And I later realized, you know what, I can just do this on a laser printer, and just create some black and white image, and it's just as good. Yeah, I like the gear one too. That one's really cool. Yeah, I have a burner too. I have a couple burners, I think. I want to have the ability to put anything onto a CD, DVD, or Blu-ray. Those are getting hard to find though, as everybody's moving away from physical media now. Not me though. I'm still a Luddite. I still have my CDs. Was it difficult to learn how to design? What you mean, the discs? No, not really. I mean, it was. Most of that stuff was produced by graphic artists. I didn't really get into playing with things a whole bunch. Let's see, which ones did I design here? I didn't do that one. I didn't do that. I did the two of the people that tried to, when they got married. And like I said, that was me working with a photograph and didn't work very well. Let's see. No, I don't think any of the ones in here. I think maybe that one I designed. Because I just did that in Photoshop, I think. But yeah, the rest of them were things that the art was presented to us. Yeah, I know. My car doesn't have a CD player anymore either. Everything's Bluetooth now. Yeah, right. Yeah, me too, Rhonda. He used to have a black Pontiac Grand Am. That was, I think, the last vehicle that had a CD player in it. It's funny. The car I have now has a dock for an iPod. There's another piece of technology that just kind of disappeared, huh? Yeah, I've never gone with satellite radio. Got your pool all cleared up. I'm working well on mine too. Actually, the next video you'll see is me dealing with the pond pump because the pond pump had problems. It didn't do well, and I actually had to bring it in, get it serviced, or at least look and see if they can fix it. It's $5 a month and can play on the computer as well. Yeah, I mean most of the most radio stations now, you know, um, do their streaming through like iHeartMedia and stuff like that, iHeartRadio. And so I don't know exactly why I would pay for it. If you can get the same thing for free. I guess maybe if you pay for it, maybe do you not have to listen to the ads or something like that? I don't know. Okay, so it's no ads. Okay, that might actually be worth it. As much as I make my money on this channel from advertising revenue, I still don't like ads. Not my thing. It's like YouTube Prime. Okay. Yeah, I think I still get paid. I mean, if you're paying for YouTube Prime and getting to see my videos without ads, and then the revenue is coming from somewhere. So I'm assuming that the number of views is consistent. Probably get the same amount of money from people who watch YouTube Prime as I do from traditional ads. Thank you, Yvonne. I never object to somebody hitting the like button. That never hurts at all. I think what it does is, I think if YouTube sees that, they see enough activity on that, they're maybe more likely to push the video. So I don't know what it means on the live stream. Maybe they'll advertise it to more people that I'm live. But I believe if you hit the like button on the individual videos, a whole bunch of those will get YouTube to push videos more. I think that might be a factor in what causes some of my videos to suddenly get explosive growth. Because right now, the one of the JFK videos I did a few years ago is getting explosive growth. I've gotten like 200 new subscribers in the last month or month and a half because the last video I did, the one that where I retraced Oswald from the Texas Book Depository to the movie theater where he was arrested. That video is, getting more views per day than anything else I'm doing right now. It's funny because that video has gotten three points where there's been explosive growth. A lot of times, if you trace it, if you look at the video and the number of views, it kind of gradually goes up. Well, that one, about a year after I did it, all of a sudden did one of these things, and then it kind of leveled out again. And then it's been just kind of gradually growing. And then about a year later, it did another one of these things. And now it's in another one where it's just going straight up. So I'm getting really good revenue. Also getting a lot of people making conspiracy theory comments on that one. You want to see something funny, go back and look at the comments on that. And, most of the comments I get every day right now are from that video. It's a lot of people saying, oh, you still believe the Warren Commission or stuff. It's like, look, go watch the video at the end. I specifically said that I know that there's a bunch of opposing theories about what happened, and feel free to put them down there. I'm not endorsing this one or any other one. I'm just saying this is what the official word is. But some people still feel they need to, call me, a Luddite or something like that because I'm pushing the Warren Commission theory. I don't know. I said, I don't know exactly what happened. There's a lot of things. I think the single best piece of evidence that it didn't come from the Texas Book Depository was the Zapruder film and the actual kill shot that happened. Because you see when Kennedy gets hit, his head flies back like that. Now, if you get hit from behind, which is what would have happened from the Texas Book Depository, I've been there. I know exactly where that is, how it's all lined up. His head should have slumped forward, but his head snapped back. That implies that somebody that it came from another shot. And, the grassy knoll would be a legitimate argument for where that came from. I don't know. We may never know the answer to what really happened. Like I said, I wasn't endorsing one theory or another, just what the official word is. And, there's also people, they're pointing out, it's like, if you just assassinated the president, why would you, casually walk out the front door and go to a bus station or go to a bus stop, get on a bus, then get off the bus, then go walk to a taxi cab company and give someone else your taxi cab, and then casually go to your house. And there's a lot of weird things there. I don't know. Yeah, I think you're partly right, Rhonda. I think a lot of people just like to argue, and I think they like to do it online because they can remain somewhat anonymous. That's why it's so easy these days for people to attack each other, because they can do it with anonymity. Yeah, exactly. Keyboard warriors. There's a lot of conspiracy theories out there, and I don't know which one's the right one. Yeah, I don't trust much I hear in the news today either. With my view on aliens, I think it's unlikely that there's nothing out there. You know, seeing how much life there is here, and all the wide varieties of areas it can live in. You know, we have animals that thrive in a desert with virtually no water. You know, Flash can do very well. She gets all her water just from her food. We have creatures that can live in ice, and we have creatures that live um, in hot spring pools where the water is close to the temperature boiling. So, I mean, it doesn't take much to get it going, and I think just the likelihood of how many stars there are out there, how many galaxies there are out there, it's impossible that there couldn't be life elsewhere. And even bringing up the evolution slash creationism myth, evolution, is if it evolved here, it could evolve elsewhere. Uh, Creationism, who's to say God just made this entire universe that we can't even see and only put people on this one little planet? There's nothing in the Bible that says that God didn't create life elsewhere. Maybe He created life all over the place. Yeah, I don't know if we could communicate with Him. I mean, if Einstein is right, it's going to be physically hard, physically difficult to go there because Einstein says that there's a connection between speed and time. Um, so the faster you go, the slower time goes. And eventually, when you hit the speed of light, time stops. And at which point you wouldn't be able to go any faster. That's why they say there's a universal speed limit of 186,000 miles per second, because once you get to that speed, according to Einstein, time stops. And we know that there is a connection with at least part of Einstein's theory about speed and time being right, because those GPS satellites up there, those work by having very, very precisely synchronized clocks on them, and by uh, measuring the time it takes for the clock signal to get from the satellite down to your location, and then comparing that to other signals, you can precisely locate it. The problem is those satellites are ripping around the planet so fast right now that they actually have to slow down the clock or speed up the clocks a little bit, because they're going so fast that the time is slowing down a little bit. And if they didn't compensate for that, we couldn't use GPS. Charlotte says Einstein is a funny guy because of his hair. Yeah, I agree. There's one picture of him that's my favorite. Let me see if I can find it here. Yeah, this is my favorite Albert Einstein picture. So that's a funny one, right? So that's funny hair and him sticking his tongue out, Charlotte. How awesome is that? Logan call it tells you off in Spanish. How awesome is that? That's great too. Charlotte wants to get him a brush. Well, there's a lot of science that supports the Big Bang theory. And I think that the greatest evidence of that is the red shifting of stars. And red shifting basically, when things are moving away from you, the light waves, which are literally waves like sound waves, they get stretched a little bit or shifted to the red. And the further stars are away from us, the faster they're moving away from us. That implies that if you got a whole bunch of things flying apart, at one point they were all in one spot. One big, giant, massive singularity. Yeah, I'm a subscriber to the multiple Big Bang theory too. I think it's just this kind of cyclic thing, and that kind of brings in the idea of the multiverse too. We're getting really into astrophysics in this, but um, basically our universe is just the result of our Big Bang. Who's to say another Big Bang didn't happen over here, another Big Bang didn't happen over here? They say the universe is 13 billion years old. Our universe is 13 billion years old. If there are multiple Big Bangs, the universe is way older than that. The girls are doing fossil study now and hammering out some from some kits. Huh. Yeah, I'm a little unsure of string theory. I got to do more research on that. I don't understand that very. Yeah, who's to say? Right, exactly. Who's to say God didn't create the universe with the Big Bang? That's true. It's still a free country. Logan is right. Logan is one smart kid. I mean, one of the things that kind of people say, well, how did that one massive blob explode? Well, right now the theory is that gravity is actually is caused by the stretching of what they call space time. Space time is just kind of a web, uh, and you stretch it, and the more you stretch it, the more gravity is. Well, I think of like a rubber band. When you stretch it, you can stretch it more and more and more, but eventually you stretch it too much, that rubber band breaks. And I see that happening where you get such a massive singularity that space time breaks. It snaps like a rubber band. And at that point, all that gravity, all that mass unpacks because there's nothing holding it together. I don't know. That's just my theory. It doesn't that doesn't necessarily mean it's right, but well, that's the big question. Will there be a big crunch? The question is when it explodes, will it eventually slow down and combine back together again, or will it just continue to expand forever? And I think if there's multiple big bangs, that would imply that it expands forever. Because then what ends up happening is all that mass combines elsewhere in the universe with other shock waves of other big bangs, and then the universe just uh, keeps creating new big bangs here, all over the place. I don't know what I believe about Bigfoot. When it comes to things like aliens and Bigfoot and Loch Ness monster, I think today everybody has a cell phone with them, and you'd think that if those things really existed, that we have footage of it right now. I carry a phone with me wherever I go, or a camera with me wherever I go. And a lot of people, have their phone with them all the time. We should have all sorts of footage. There should be more footage now, not less. That's true, but the Bible doesn't specifically say how God did any of that stuff, just that he did it. So, you know, who knows? Maybe he created the Big Bangs or something like that. Who knows? I'm not endorsing one side or another. Charlotte says dad is Bigfoot. God definitely knows more about how the universe works than I do. I think Stephen Hawking said he wasn't going to explore what happened before the Big Bang. He says, because he said that that's God's domain. I think that was Stephen Hawking that said that. He was a pretty smart guy. You know, this is what I love about these live streams here. Uh, that we can be talking about one thing and we'll go off in another direction. Here's a perfect thing. We've been talking about astrophysics and aliens and Bigfoot and stuff like that. Now we're going to talk about Super Balls. I love Super Balls. I had them all the time when I was a kid. Yeah, you'd take them, you throw them on the ground as hard as you can, see how high you can make them bounce. I don't think I have any Super Balls right now. I know we've been all over the road topic wise, haven't we? Charlotte says no balls in the house. Okay. I remember what I used to do. There was a hallway in the house that I grew up in, and I'd get a Super Ball and I'd throw it at one ball and see how many times I could get it bounced back and forth on the against the walls. Yeah, I used to do that too, Gene. Lawn darts. Those were the greatest thing ever. Can't find them anymore. Roswell, I don't know. I don't know what happened. I was just reading that like they were saying a UFO crashed in Vegas like just recently, and somebody called 911 on 8 foot tall aliens walking around. I don't know. I've been to Roswell. You may recall I did that on the way to Texas with Jordan a little over 4 years ago. Your foster brother, and you used to play chicken with him. What, with lawn darts? I saw something once, light wise. can't entirely explain. I think it was probably just a plane, but it seemed really odd. Yeah, it turns out there's a new rock and mineral shop in Waco. I went there last week. You'll see a little bit on the video. And they were at that rock and mineral show um, a few weeks ago, and I was intrigued by this piece here. I'm not usually one that collects shaped and polished stuff like that. I like my stones in more of a natural format, but I'm really, really fascinated with stones that react to the ultraviolet light. And this is one that does. Look at that. How cool is that? So, like I said, I will be visiting them more often at some point. I don't know, is the bottom glow? Yeah, the bottom glows a little bit too. That isn't polished as much, but I love the marbling that goes through there. Look at that thing just in normal light. Look at that vein or whatever that is. That's like crystal down the middle of that. And see, that isn't even, that's the least impressive part of the stone here when you get this thing lit up. Definitely going to be another addition to my rock collection. Like I said, I don't usually like the cut pieces like this. And I said, well, they said, well, we can go try and find you something else. And I said, keep that in mind for the next time I'm here, because I'll definitely be going back there. I'm gonna throw a bunch of money at that place. Yeah, I like quartz. I don't have any really spectacular examples of quartz crystal, but hopefully that'll change. I have a few pieces that are just little broken chunks. There was actually a rock I found once that I had in California in my yard. I'm actually kind of regret that I didn't bring it with me, like I did a few other rocks. But this rock had some little quartz crystals growing in it. I think I found that in Folsom. I think when I was visiting my sister once. Yeah. I might do that too. One of the things when I was at that rock and mineral shop, they showed me some stuff that that they said people had found just along the Brazos River or around Lake Waco. I said, I've been around those areas a bunch of times. I've never seen anything spectacular. They said, you need to go at night and bring the ultraviolet light because some of that stuff looks really amazing. And then people just look at it, it's like, oh, it's limestone. Who cares? Nobody cares about that. But one of these days, I'm probably going to go for a walk on the river and bring my ultraviolet light here. Give my camera a hernia. Yeah, I like geodes too. In fact, they had this beautiful amethyst, and an amethyst I have an amethyst, just a little fragment of one, but this one was a full size geode, and they'd cut a basically about a 4-inch strip of it, so it was a big round thing. It was an ugly rock on the outside, but you look on the inside, and it's all these purple crystals. It's a good thing that this camera doesn't transmit the ultraviolet light as much as intense as it is here, because they specifically say don't shine this in people's eyes because this will blind you. What I like about that rock and mineral shop though is their stuff is really reasonably priced. You know, for as cool of a rock as this was $29. You know, how many people have a rock that'll do that? Very awesome. I also went out and bought an opal a while back. I found a company online that was selling them. I was really leery because it's something I saw on Facebook, and I generally distrust anything that is advertised on Facebook because I've been nearly ripped off before by that. But you know, I gave it a shot, and it seemed really legit, and it turned out to be. So here, let me show you my opal. I'll definitely have to go back and visit them again at some point because I've always wanted to have an opal. So this is actually a a mineral display opal. So they recommend you keep it in water, otherwise eventually it'll crack. But you can take it out of water and look at it. And let me show you this thing, how cool this is. Hopefully we can get it to light up a little bit here. I want to dry it off here so it isn't dripping all over the keyboard. That's no good when that happens. Let's see if we can make this look nice. Yeah, there's my opal. See these, but I love the colors in these things. I mean, look at the purple, the blue in the center, the green, there's orange. You know, that's just how awesome is that? So let's see if I can find a good angle here. Oops. Drop it on the keyboard here, and then I'm going to end up ending the live stream. One of the things that kind of made me think that this company was legit was it wasn't just a very, you know, very general buy an opal from us. They actually had photos of every one of them, and you know, they described the carat size, and then they had like a little 5-second video with them, you know, showing you the flame of it, and so I thought that was kind of cool. But yeah, that's my opal. I've wanted an opal ever since I saw a documentary on opals a number of years ago, and so I've always wanted one. Well, not always, but since then I've wanted one. So when I saw this, you know, I started getting more like rock and gemstone type pages ever since I went to that rock and mineral show in Waco. Um, you know, I've started getting all sorts of ads on Facebook for that, and this company came across, and yeah, a ruby would be fine. I would definitely consider getting a ruby. When I was talking to the people at that rock and mineral place, you know, they were saying, "Is there anything you're looking to collect?" And I says, "I don't really collect things to, you know, because I'm looking for something specific. I the things I collect stone wise are things I just look at and say that's really cool. So I don't, you know, I mean, I did kind of go into, you know, when I went into that rock and mineral show, I did kind of think, you know what, I've always wanted to have a piece of obsidian. And so, you know, when I saw that there, you know, I had to get a nice piece of obsidian. But yeah, I wouldn't mind having a ruby. I bet you I could find some of that. Burmese ruby. Yeah, that'd be nice. Oh, they're illegal. Is that just in Canada, or are they illegal here too? Probably just yeah. It's probably some sort of a because it's probably a sanction kind of thing, right? Because of what's going on in Burma. Yeah, right. All right, we're through one glass of vodka here. Pearls are nice too. I had a pearl once. I don't know what happened to it. It was one of those things where you went to. I think we might have got it at SeaWorld or something like that, where they actually had some oysters, and you'd pick your oyster, and they'd have them growing in this tank, and you'd see people go down and dive for them, and come back up, and you could get one. You open it up, and you get the pearl, and it is massively hot outside right now. I was outside just for a minute right before the live stream. It was like it felt so good to get back in here. Way, way hot. Probably bought you a Canadian ruby for Christmas. Nice. It's cold there because of all the smoke. Yeah, it's probably that. Sometimes the smoke makes it cool off. Sometimes it makes it heat up. I guess it just depends on how thick the layer is. If it prevents the sun from getting to the ground, then it'll cool you off. But sometimes you get the heat in there and then it traps it in, like it's a greenhouse effect kind of thing. Pool's getting close. It wouldn't surprise me if I'm in the pool this week. Yeah, yeah, ash everywhere. I remember, fires in California, you know, and they were surprisingly close to my house. I have time lapse video I shot out my back window once of a fire that was about 5 miles up the road from me, and it was close enough you could just see the smoke billowing past. The sky was orange that day. Maybe if I can find it, I'll put it on the Facebook page. I don't know. Did I put it on my YouTube channel? Let me see if it's on my YouTube channel. Oh, apparently I'm doing a live stream. That's news to me. Let's see. Not that one. Gosh, I got way too many YouTube channels. Let's see. Not that one. No, that's a lot. I'll have to. I'm not going to sit there and look at it too much. It's really rude to if you're going out to lunch somewhere and you're sitting, you're with someone and you're spending all your time looking at your phone. I suppose it's probably even worse if you're doing that on a live stream, right? It's rude if you do it to one person. How rude is it if you do it to 26? Now, it's ridiculous to blame it on global warming. What it is, it's bad forest management. You know, all the people that say, well, we'll just let the forests have taken care of themselves for decades and for centuries and for millennia, you know, we'll let the forest take it. Well, this is the forest taking care of it. This is what happens if you don't manage your forests with controlled burns and controlled logging, clearing out old growth, dead trees, you know, stuff that just burns. Nature's going to take care of it even if we don't. Breakfast burrito sounds good. Thanks for stopping in, Tracy. You're a new member, but you're becoming a member of the family here. You gonna come up and join the conversation? I can't believe you're not here already. The kitty treat jar has been open for more than an hour, and you haven't been pestering me about it. I haven't done barbecue in a while, but I cook on the grill all the time. Most nights I have something that I put on the grill during my week, you know, during my weekends. There he is. He's back. Going for the brush again. You get a new barbecue? All right. Is it a smoker or just a grill? I haven't been aware of my neighbors barbecuing, but we all have really big backyards, so you know it's possible they could be doing it and I'm just not aware of it. It's just one of the things I really like about Waco is the big plots of land here. You know, in California, you know, you got a plot of land that was, you know, 50 feet by 50 feet. You know, this one's, you know, much larger than that. I love having a big backyard. Putting it together, you got a concussion. That's not good. Fortunately, in my case, mine came assembled. In a massive goose egg, huh? I have seen Flash use the cave for what it was mainly created for. It was mainly created to be a refuge for her when she gets really hot, and she does use it for that. I kind of hope she'd use it as her primary house, but she prefers the wooden box at night for the most part. I saw her a little bit this morning, though, while I was making breakfast, and she was just out walking around along the back gate there looking for something to eat. So I brought her some celery that I had in the fridge. I'm sure she enjoyed that. She gets most of her water from the food she eats. So that's the nice thing about the celery is there's a lot of liquid in the celery, way more than there is like in the grass. You're gonna get a turtle now? All right. Gonna add to that menagerie you have. You have to get a sign out in front of your house that says "Welcome to the Sears Zoo." Is Logan gonna get a shark now too? I like sharks. Sharks are cool. I think the shark fascination actually started with from my dad because when he was going for his master's degree, he had to work. He was working with a scientist that was tracking sharks, and in fact, the scientist that he was working for said, "Do you have any problems getting in the water with sharks?" And he said, "Yeah, I ain't doing that." You went on a shark dive. I would absolutely go into the water in a shark cage, and look at sharks. That would be fun. That is something I could totally see myself doing. No cage, okay. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of sharks that are, actually pretty docile. Everybody when they think sharks, they think, Jaws or something like that. You can pet them easy, even yeah. I've pet sharks like in tanks and stuff like that. They have a weird feel. Their skin feels like a file. If you go the wrong way, one way it feels smooth, but you go the other way, and it's like rubbing your hand on a file. But I've definitely pet sharks a few times. Yeah, there's a few species of sharks that can be dangerous to humans, but yeah, you're right. Generally, it's the great whites that are bad. But I mean, I even heard of like tiger sharks and stuff like that. If they get big enough, they can take a chunk out of you. Yeah, I've done the shark ride at Universal Studios too. I went to the one in California, obviously, because I lived in California. That was the original. Then they did the one in Florida, and I don't know if they have any others. His son freaked out so much he almost wet his pants. That's awesome. Yeah, if you don't know it's coming, I haven't been to a movie in the movie theaters in a long time. I don't even know if I want to see the new Indiana Jones movie, just because the last one was so horrible. You see the new Barbie movie, of course you are. I didn't know there was a new Barbie movie, but then again, I didn't know there was an old Barbie movie. So yeah, I've got Paramount Plus, and Top Gun Maverick is part of that. I'm going to sit down and watch that at some point. I think I've just kind of gotten to a stage in my life right now where I'm not really adventuresome when it comes to seeing like new movies or stuff like that. Sometimes I just got to have someone like Jordan come and say, "Hey, you got to check this out." Last time Jordan was here, we got Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and I'd heard a lot of good things about that. A lot of people that I respect really liked that, but I just hadn't gone to see it. And he says, "No, you got to see it." And he was right. I think it's Quentin's best movie. Your foster dad was in one of the Indiana Jones movies. That's awesome. Can you actually see him in the scene? Yeah, I'm afraid you're right, John. That's I think part of the reason now is the movies are all just rehashes. I can't tell you the last movie I saw in the theater, but I haven't seen a movie in the theater since I came to Waco. So that tells you how long it's been. I don't really follow the reviews that much. I want to hear what people who just are fans say, because I mean the first three movies are great. The fourth one is horrible, and so I just don't know if I'm ready. Another reason, is the movies are getting too preachy now. I come to be entertained, not to be lectured to. There's a Johnny Depp movie in French, huh? I used to be a huge fan of Johnny Depp, not so much anymore. I mean, I remember him when he was murder victim number one in Nightmare on Elm Street, or when he was on a TV show called 21 Jump Street. That was my first experience with Johnny Depp. And I liked him then. I liked him in Ed Wood. I liked him in Edward Scissorhands. I liked him in What's Eating Gilbert Grape. He's great in that. Him and a very young Leonardo DiCaprio. Yeah, like I said, I haven't seen him in anything that's really impressed me lately. Like I said, I was a huge fan of his early on. was blackballed from the Pirates movies, which he used to make a ton of money. Yeah, I mean, I'll give him credit. You know, he got a lot of money from those. I saw, I think, one of those, and I never was really that into it. Yeah, he's up on the chair now. I remember the time that Johnny Depp came to Disneyland and actually went into the Pirates of the Caribbean attraction dressed as Captain Jack Sparrow and was actually interacting with people as they went by. That happened while I was working there. I think there's like all sorts of video of it on like YouTube and stuff like that. If you're interested, go do it. Go look for Johnny Depp in Pirates of the Caribbean at Disneyland. Yeah, I don't know. I tend to get bored with movies sometimes, so I tried watching that one once. I think it might have been a case where it was a movie maybe I'd gotten for free or something like that. I don't remember, but I don't think I made it all the way through it. You've seen all the Pirates movies, okay? You're the download queen, huh? All right. That actually might have been where I got it too. I might have downloaded it at some point because I don't remember ever having a DVD of it. But maybe I downloaded it and then erased it or something. That's happened. You like old flicks, okay? Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people are that way. You get into movies that you remember from a kid, as a kid or when you were younger, or have some connection with, and I think a lot of people kind of get that way, where they don't like what comes new. Every once in a while, I've seen recent movies that I thought were pretty good. See, I don't have a whole lot of black and white movies. I have a few though. You got all the old surf movies, huh? Okay, you're into that. All right. No, the only thing I have with Peter Sellers in it is um, uh, Doctor Strangelove. He's great into that. He's great in that. That's such a classic movie. I saw Citizen Kane once. It's a good movie. Hi, Mark. I am well. How are you doing today? That's right. I haven't seen you yet today. Haven't seen Jeff Kidd either. Must have something going after church. Sometimes the church has like a potluck luncheon or something afterwards. We usually catch Jeff when he's on his way to lunch after church, but maybe lunch is at church today. Yeah, it seems like Jordan's doing a Route 66 tour. That's actually a good idea because he'll get a whole bunch of vlogs out of that. White's rubbing his nose all over my hand. So now I got cat snot on my on my fist. Right? Yeah, you're rubbing your nose. You're using my hand as a Kleenex. That's kind of gross, dude. Yes, it is. I'm gonna wipe it on your fur. Yes, I am. You blow your nose on my hand, I wipe my hand on your fur. That's how it works. Yeah, Route 66 may have been done to death, but it's not been done by Jordan. And whatever Jordan does, there's gonna, it'll be great. No, I've never been to Indiana with anyone, let alone Jordan. I haven't heard really a whole lot more about his grandfather. I'm guessing he's still on the mend. Oops, I just punched my laptop. That's what you get when you blow your nose on my hand. I end up punching the laptop. Does anyone have any holidays planned for summer? I don't know. I right now I'm still doing this material handler thing at work, and so while I could probably get away with taking a vacation, they'd have to deal with it. I kind of don't want to go and because I know how much work I do in a day, and it'd be really difficult if I wasn't there. So yeah, I don't. I think in the case of Jordan, he would have done something on it. But you can't even judge right now where he is. He might be completely done with the Route 66 tour. Because he does stuff, days, weeks in advance. He may have a dozen videos already queued up and ready to go. I know it helps to stay on top of it, doing a vlog, doing a regular vlog, comes out on a regular basis. It's a good thing to kind of stay ahead of the game a little bit because then if something goes wrong and a vlog doesn't work or you're sick or something like that, you don't all of a sudden have no vlog to go up. Wow, Mark, you got like three cliches in one posting there. I have one vlog right now that's backlogged. That'll come up on Tuesday. But I want to get a little bit more ahead of the game. I like being able to start a weekend knowing I've got all the week's videos done already. So what I do sometimes is, to say, I just kind of feel like taking a day off today. And I do that every once in a while, but I got to be enough ahead where I can afford to do that. Yeah, let's see. I don't even remember what my next vlog is. That's really bad when even I don't remember what the next one is. Let's see if I can figure this out here. Actually, I got I'll use YouTube Studio. That's the one that I probably should use here. Oh, I think it was one about the pool. Yeah, that's what it is. I was doing one about the pool. There's still a problem there. In fact, I haven't resolved that completely yet either. So there, that's the answer, Rhonda. The next one's about the pool. Yeah, I would look forward to going to a national park. I'm going to do that at some point. It depends. It depends on the topic. If it's, when I, for instance, did the one, a month ago where I did the, I did on the anniversary of the Waco tornado. That one did a little, little prep work because I had to research the, about the Archie Dennis building and what was on the road on that street, and how everything, some of the stories and stuff that happened. But a lot of times I just kind of say, okay, well, we're gonna, I got to do this today. We're gonna vlog it. How much for a new pool pump? It's about $600. Yeah, how are we related, Rhonda? Oh, we aren't. Okay, all right. I guess that's the way it goes then. I saw that about the person. I think it looked like it was at Yellowstone harassing a bison, and the bison not had it, saying, "Okay, I've had enough of that." YouTube income has gone up a little bit this last month or so because of the interest in that JFK video. That's going viral again. So we're like up to almost like 80,000 views on that one. That would be funny. That would be fun to have a video that had 100,000 views. Jordan has a lot of those, but I don't have any of those. But that's one that could definitely do it. There is actually a cure for stupidity. You take all the warning labels down and let nature solve it. I think you're right, John. We're becoming a society that doesn't interact with each other and feels comfortable saying the most vile things to people that they think they can say because they're anonymous. There's Jeff. Yeah, you made it just in time here. We're almost to the end. Do well-known YouTubers make a lot of money? Yes, yes, they do. No worse than people falling off cliffs taking a selfie. Well, like I said, take the warning labels down and let Darwin solve it. Spending lunch with family. All right. Spending vacation with the family. All right. You like the yeah, sure, yeah, right. The shirt says "Don't iron while wearing." I know, and you know why that's on there, right? Because somebody actually did that and then sued the company that made the T-shirt for not warning them not to do that. All of those stupid things. That all those stupid warning labels. It's because somebody did that. I mean, who would think you'd have to tell people not to eat Tide Pods? But here we are. Yeah, Jordan definitely found his niche. I'm very happy for his success. Yeah, yeah, I've heard about that too. Sued McDonald's because the coffee was too hot and she burned herself, and then she won. See, that's the other part of it is that there's judges that don't just laugh these people out of court. Yeah, yeah. Rhonda mentioned that one just a minute ago. She got a shirt that says "Don't iron while wearing." Don't drink shampoo. That's one that's on the labels. There's a meme that kind of floating around that goes after young millennials who think they're smarter than everyone else, and it points out, what, in the 50s your car manual explained to you how to adjust the points on your engine, and now it tells you not to drink the contents of the battery. You don't use a hair dryer in the bathtub, right? Yeah, that's obscene that people make money like that. I drive a forklift at work, and it has a warning label that says "Don't drive on an incline." Yeah, no doubt. You got a big tall thing like this, and you're going up. What do you think is going to happen? It's going to fall over. If you like eating Tide Pods, you'll love the cotton candy in the attic, right? Do you mean this far down? Yep, that's really how it works. We found out what we could eat by eating things and figuring out what didn't kill us. Thanks for stopping in, Charlotte, Rhonda, Logan, Jessica. Good to always have you here. Look forward to seeing you next week. We're almost done here anyway, so you were here for the whole thing because you were chatting up a storm even before I went on. Nope, can't fix stupid. That's true. Yeah, we lived through the '70s with a 100-pound TV on a metal TV tray. Right. And, in my case, making jump ramps for my bike. No helmets, riding in the back of pickups, drinking water out of the hose. Wouldn't do any of those things today. It's hot. It's hot here today, really hot. I think that was Forrest Gump's mom that said that, though, right? Mama always said, stupid is as stupid does. It's getting close to being ready for the pool. I may get in it this week, even if it doesn't get to the desired temperature, because it's close and it's been really hot for the last couple of days. So I bet you it's coming up. It will definitely. We're supposed to be getting into the hundreds now over the next couple of days, so that should definitely push the temperature up to a comfort level. Need a floating chair with a beer holder. Yeah. Usually, what I do is I just kind of, get down on my knees and just everything except my head is below water. But I have been known to have a beer out in the pool. That's nice. There's nothing better than that. It's always good to see you too, Jeff. Yeah, I don't know what it is right now, but it's supposed to be hot today, I think. Actually, let's see. It's saying 87. I don't believe that for a second. There's a little screen on my computer that says what the weather is. I guess I don't buy that. Let's see what the weather channel says. It's got to be in the 90s. Yeah, it says 92 right now. The peak at 97. Like I said, that should definitely bring the pool temperature up. It's hot in Florida. Yeah, I bet. I've been to Florida in the summer. I do love the storms that come through Florida. Those are awesome. I was reading your comment. I thought you were galvanizing around the stores. No, it's gallivanting. Okay. Yeah, I could have considered moving to Florida, but I'm so happy I chose Texas and Waco. I just really love it here. Oh yeah, I count on especially Rhonda. You know, that's sort of why I made her a moderator on this, is because you know that encourages her to come in and carry you know part of the conversation. But Yvonne too. Yeah, you know, it surprises me because I've been a Californian my entire life, but I feel like a Texan. I feel like I belong here. Think of all the free mower repair. Yeah, I know. Well, I don't know. I would like to get my little hand mower going, but I don't know. I don't. I'm not enough into engines to do that kind of thing. Maybe if you come to Waco, you can fix that for me. It hasn't worked since I was here. I mean, I'm pretty sure I know what the problem is. And I'm kind of embarrassed to admit it, but I just didn't take good care of it. So I'm sure just it needs an oil change and probably air filter and all that kind of stuff. But I expect that the abuse it's got is you're probably going to have to take the engine apart and clean it all out. And I have no doubt that it could be made to work again. It's just it's been worked hard and put away wet. Anyway, I think I've put in my 2 hours now, so I think we're going to pull the plug on this one. I'm going to go try and figure out what I'm going to do for a vlog today, and I think I got an idea what it'll be, but uh, I think that's all that I have for today. So thank you very much for watching today. I had a great time. We had real fun conversations today, and I'll see you again next week. Good night.